Yeah, this video might offend some people because we might not agree, and that's fine. What's up? It's your boy Dynasty, and today we are ranking, in my opinion, the top 10 worst Mortal Kombat fatalities of all time. And this was really tough to put together because for every great iconic spine rip, toasty, you got some bad ones. And there's a lot of bad ones in Mortal Kombat, so I tried my best to narrow it down to these 10. By no means is this the definitive 110% worst list, worst fatalities ever. It's just my opinion. Don't take it too serious, had some fun with this, and because we're talking about fatalities, this video is gonna get demonetized, but thankfully, we got a sponsor today. That being the good folks over at Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is by far one of the best mobile games currently available on the mobile market. There's over 500 different champions to collect and choose from, all with their own unique skills, meaning that no two champions will ever play or feel the same. Best part about Raid, though, is it's free to play for both the mobile and PC. Personally, I've been having fun using this dual axe-wielding orc named Gaelic, who has this move called Hellraiser that not only damages everyone you're going up against, but it even boosts your speed too. The campaign mode is pretty straightforward. You battle through various different stages that continue to progressively get harder, and eventually you'll come face to face with the final boss, and if you succeed, you advance to another region on the map. Heck, there's even a section called the Tavern, where you can upgrade your champions by, well, sacrificing your lower level champions. Raid also just released this massive patch update that rebalanced over 20 different characters and champions to make the PvP arena even more competitive than before. And if that's not enough, the new Forge just came out, so you can save time and start crafting top quality artifacts and competing instantly. So hey! In the description below, you'll find a link you can click on to sign up for free and receive all these bonuses on the screen right now by simply getting into the game and going up to the top right corner and clicking on the chest icon. And along with all these rewards, you'll also get an epic Dark Elf champion called Hexweaver. Also down below, you'll see a special live goal counter that's working in real time and is counting our results in real time too. So if you download the game and complete the game's tutorial, your Raid username might actually pop up in this video's description. So again, a massive thank you to Raid for sponsoring this video. And with that said, let us break down the top 10 worst Mortal Kombat fatalities of all time.
Number 10.
Sub-Zero's Spine Rip is arguably one of the most iconic finishers of all time. So what happens when you take that in Mortal Kombat Trilogy and you put the two together? You censor it. Midway censored the classic Sub-Zero Spine Rip. I know what they were going for. It was meant to be like a meme of the times, and 20 years later, I kind of would have rather just seen Bihan pull off someone's spine. So for that alone, as a Sub-Zero main, what were you thinking? How do you censor a spine rip? How?
Number 9.
Mortal Kombat 4. Some love it, some hate it. I don't really like it, but you probably already know that. This fatality pretty much embodies everything that I don't like about Mortal Kombat 4. You have the God of Thunder, who summons his staff, just randomly summoning a staff. Cool. Puts you on a stick, shock you a few times, and you're dead. There's no blood. Did I mention he kills you with a stick? Raiden, fatality by stick. MK4. Never change.
Number 8.
Mortal Kombat 1 set the standard for fatalities to come. And for the most part, most are pretty cool. You had the Kano Heart Rip, you had the Sub-Zero Spine Rip, you had Scorpion just turning you into a bag of bones. Then you have a cartwheel from Liu Kang. Yes, the infamous flip kick from MK1. I get it, product of the times, all things considered. It does look cool when you perform it on the pit. That's where it becomes a stage fatality, and it's not so bad. But without the stage fatality, this thing is just a cartwheel, and that's it. It's pretty lackluster. Granted, this is from the first Mortal Kombat game, but in comparison to like a heart rip, a spine rip, everything else the game had to offer, this one was probably the worst in the game because it was just so generic. So I love you, Lulu, but MK1 fatality cartwheel, not for me.
Number 7.
Bet you didn't think we'd see a modern fatality on this list. Guess what? Knife to meet ya. I didn't like it. I thought it was underwhelming. There were so many other great fatalities in MKX, and Kano's Knife to meet ya just, in my opinion, isn't one of them. All he does is throw some knives at your face, you fall on him, and that's it. Simple. Feel like it could have been a bit better, considering that there was some crazy fatalities in that game that were completely over the top. Kano just kind of throws some daggers at you. But hey, it has a nice ring to it. Knife to meet you, making the number 7 spot.
Number 6.
Goro making a top 10 worst fatality list. Yeah, it's happening. So back in Deception on the GameCube, he was an exclusive character. And he had a fatality where he turns into Raphael from TMNT and starts going to town like it's for some pizza. This man has 4 arms, and instead of using those 4 arms to just dismember his opponents, he uses these baby-looking size. So, kind of underwhelming. He could have jumped on you, could have pulled a Kentaro, could have pulled a Shiva. All the combinations of just things you can do with these 4 arms, and instead he decides, you know what, I got some size. It's kind of underwhelming, I gotta be honest with you. For an unlockable character that's an exclusive, and for you just to use your size, Goro, Big Daddy Goro, thumbs down, not happy.
Number 5.
You thought Goro's fatality was bad. What about another sub-boss? Yeah, Matara, I'm looking at you. Back in MK3, he had the head rip where he would pick up his opponent by the head and decapitate them, but it wasn't really grabbing the head. It kind of grabbed next to the head and then like picked up, and then like the head was right next to his hand, and there wasn't a sound effect or anything. It kind of was just like, Mataro wins. And he just kind of sits there frozen, posing with this like head that's not even being held on to by his hand. It's Mortal Kombat 3. You'd expect more, maybe, but nope. Last minute effort, decapitation, and a really bad one. The head rip.
Number 4.
What happens when you mix a bungee cord of some spikes on your, I guess, heels? Bungee cord plus spikes equals death. Movato's fatality in Deadly Alliance. Yeah, the slow build-up I always thought was really funny, like the animation, and then there's like these weird squeaky sound effects when he's like charging up. Homie becomes the human slingshot and just jumps on your chest, and then it's like, oh, by the way, I got spikes on my feet, and you're dead. Deadly Alliance, man, did a lot of good, did a lot of bad, and I think this fatality, it could have been a lot better. Like, bungee cord, spikes on your feet, Movato, it's bad.
Number 3.
I'm really not a fan of this. You know, I like Shiva as a character, but she really is just cosplaying as Jax here. Boom, boom, boom. That's it. No body dismemberment, some blood, but at the end of the day, it's just she beats her opponent into the ground like she's Jax or Superman. Kind of lackluster. She's got 4 arms. That's all we could really give her back in the day. This is MK3. You know how many great, classic, iconic finishes we had in that game? And this is what we got?
Shiva wins.
Yeah, not too happy with it. You knew this was going to make the list somewhere. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Quan Chi's fatality. He turns you into a giraffe. And it's, come on, what do I gotta say? Quan Chi just jumps on your shoulders and decides, you know what? I'm in the mood to turn your neck to a Laffy Taffy, stretches you up, and you kind of just waddle with this like 20-foot long neck. Opponent just falls down, and I love how Quan Chi's just standing there like, yeah, you really just turned your opponent into a giraffe. That's what you did. So you knew it was coming. Number 2, Quan Chi's infamous neck stretch. Midway, what were you thinking?
Number 1.
Now, it would have been too easy just to have 10 fatalities on this list from this game, but, you know, number 1 spot belongs to the infamous Kano Pounce, where he gets angry, and then he rolls with you for a little bit, jumps in the air, lands on you, and you die. The Kano Pounce fatality from MK vs. DC is the perfect reason why we never need to see Mortal Kombat dip below an M ever again. This is horrible. That's bad. That is the worst fatality of all time. It's not even close. It's bad. So again, by no means am I expecting us to agree, because we're not. Our list is probably completely different. I probably missed a lot of really bad ones, because again, there's hundreds of these fatalities, and to narrow it down to 10, it was tough. But of course, if you guys enjoy, take a second, drop a like on it, and let's do this. If this video gets 1,000 likes, I'll do the exact same video format again, but this time, the top 10 best fatalities, according to me, ya boy, Dynasty, in Mortal Kombat. Should be fun. Again, big thank you to Raid for sponsoring this video, making me able to talk about fatalities. Feels good to show you guys all these finishers. But of course, the next time I've been your host for Dynasty, guys, please take care, stay safe. See you guys in the next video. Peace.
You see, I've been a fan of Dynasty for years now. GTA, MK, and Justice, I'm still down. Rapper meets gamer, I wonder how y'all feel now. That was just a setup, watch it get real now. Okay, so me and Sub-Zero was born in 92. And lyrically, I inherited all his fighting moves. A lot of y'all still lost, don't have the slightest clue. The truth disappears in the smoke as if you